Send me kids to cover these ghosts. I'm playing games with the things I fear most. For the views and a prayer late at night. Thank the Lord I make it out all right. Ooh, here we go. For the show. Mama told me don't mess with the bread, but I'm running from monsters instead. Got the Bible closed by my side, praying I'll make it through the night. All these shadows are haunting my mind, but I laugh and I try to act fine. Send me kids to cover these ghosts. I'm playing games with the things I fear most. For the views and a prayer late at night. Thank the Lord I make it out all right. Thank the Lord I make it out all right. Here we go. Ooh, for the show.
What in the world? What?
Our ship disappeared. Joe!
Joe! Joe, bring back the ship! What are you doing?
It's too much.
I thought you guys were on board, and I had.
Did you see our names? This is the worst group of pirates.
Did you hear us calling any commands?
Nope.
You
I
didn't
was
see
like,
us
I
on
am
board.
going to commandeer. I decided to commandeer the boat.
Man, first we lost them, now like Joe's abandoning us. Tabitha, where did we find this crew?
They're in materials or something.
Joe, are you still on this ship?
Yes, I am. I am straightening out. Oh, you're here!
Yeah, we're
Get
here.
here! How'd you guys get here?
I
Oh,
found
the
a
mermaid brought us here.
Oh,
And they're still shooting at us.
really?
I hear shots. I'm in crazy.
No, I definitely heard something.
It gives me the option to rejoin the previous session.
Oh, right over there. Is that not a ship over there? Oh, it's like a congregation ship.
Oh, I am overboard.
Wait, what? Why?
Oh, the ship's on fire! The ship's on fire!
Why?
The ship is on fire because nobody sails without the entire crew. So Joe, have
And
fun.
There's massive holes in the boat, guys.
Oh no!
You steal the ship, you
Okay.
suffer the consequences. Right, good morning. Welcome to your daily, I say daily because I wasn't on yesterday, but welcome to your favorite traffic jam, the brush hour. I don't know, we'll come up with some kind of cute catchphrase. But anyway, welcome to Brush Hour. Welcome in, everybody. I'm Dreaming Tabitha, your host, Dreaming Tabitha, the artist here on YouTube. And we are live over on Kick as well. I've got some morning acromies. Hakramath. Got to get those out. Those hurt for the love of all things good. I'm telling you what, the tiniest little crumb in the corner of your eye, you rub it wrong, your eye is raw for the rest of the day. Where did I put my phone? Trying to put it on silent so that way I don't accidentally reveal all of my secrets. Hang on. I gotta send. I know. I one day we're gonna get this together. There we go. Hello, everybody. I was gonna open up with today with what kind of socks are you wearing today on this lovely October Thursday? I'm wearing Iron Man socks. I need to get new fun socks. I love fun socks. I ridiculously love fun socks. I have weeded through a lot of the fun socks that I have, and either that or I've worn through them, and I need to get some new ones. I need some new fun socks. I don't know. There's just something about it, like as you get older and still being able to look like an adult, but retain some of your childlike youthfulness secretly. Because, a lot of times we're wearing our shoes on and they kind of cover things up. I don't know. It's just kind of like a fun little secret between you and me, or just me and Jesus. Anyway, welcome in, welcome in. I'm going to say good morning to everybody. DL, thank you, DL. I was wondering, are you going to show up today? Are you going to hit us with everything but the kitchen sink like you normally do? By the way, DL, there's no pressure on you. I understand that life happens and that sometimes you can't do that, but it's just, you're always there. So it took me like surprise when you weren't the other day. And hello, good morning. Good to see you, girl. Power time. Sort of. I am creating a man, so it's good. It's good to see you from the WD. Yeah, I haven't been on that show for a while. Maybe I'll talk to Jonas. Invite myself on Retro Collective. Good morning. Good morning. I do this often for female tubers, just for fun vibe. Oh, always fun vibes. Although, were we live yesterday? I don't remember. Was it the day before? And it wasn't exactly fun. We got into some good talk though. But JM the Elite Fan, good morning, good morning. I believe I said hi. Yes, the hardworking, ever vigilant Retro Collective, JM the Elite Fan, OG says hi. Excuse me, it's just hi. Because it's lowercase. It's hi. Mando Unchained, hello. I'm wearing Dragon Ball Crocs. In my defense, I'm at home by myself. So weak defense, Mando. I'm just kidding. I didn't know they made Dragon Ball Z, or excuse me, is there a difference? Dragon Ball Crocs. I was gifted some Christmas Mickey Mouse, Crocs a couple years ago. And I'm not really a Croc, like the traditional Croc person, but I will tell you those things are lined with the little fuzziness stuff inside. Super warm. I wear them when I'm at my desk because it does so Florida homes tend to all have tile or something like that, not a lot of carpet, and it keeps the houses cool, but it keeps the houses cool even in the winter time. So it's nice to have those for sure. I haven't worn them out and about. There's just something about it where I haven't quite humbled myself enough to be able to wear those kinds of Crocs in the great outdoors. But I just recently ordered some Croc sneakers. Love them. So comfortable. They're just white though. They're not anything fancy. DL says I'm wearing my plain old white tube socks. All right. Good to know. Like I said, mine are not tube socks, but they're not exactly ankle socks either. But I love them. It was a bundle pack of Superman, Batman, Captain America, and Iron Man. We have since lost all but Iron Man. So time to get some new superhero socks. Chaz, good morning, good morning, good morning. I didn't put in the little stickers just to see what you would say. Wow, why would you taunt me like that, DL? Wow. You have wool gray winter socks on. It's cold here. In some places of the world, it is. It is. It's getting to be that chilly season. Yeah, sadly, they're Dragon Ball Z Crocs. Why sadly? What's wrong with Dragon Ball Z? I don't know. Untrained. You see, they can be nice. Stop yelling at me. I understand the Croc hate, but still, it just comes from the fact. Also, growing up, we've really prioritized good shoes because I've said this often and a lot. My mom is from Europe, and in Europe, most everybody walks everywhere, and we went to Europe often as when we were kids, and so the value of good strong ankles runs deep. The value of strong ankles runs and high arches runs very deep in my veins from my ancestors. So when I see Crocs, but I tell you what, at the end of a long day, if you're wearing Crocs to the theme parks and stuff like that, and you get the ones that are just the rubbery, foamy stuff, they dry fast. So it really works. It's really beneficial for places like Florida where it's high humidity, you're walking often. It's just that the regular Crocs, they don't offer any support for your ankles. And I know my mom hates them for little kids. I understand why people put them on their little kids because they're easy to clean, blah, blah, blah. They're cute, but they are not beneficial to your kids' ankle health whatsoever. But I'm not a parent. What do I know? If I had a dog, I wouldn't put Crocs on my dog. So Crocs, I feel like they're garden shoes. Like they're good. They were meant to be garden shoes, and then somehow they just took over the world. Mm-mm-mm. Have you ever heard the story on how Crocs got so popular? DL, tell me. Maybe I'll make a little video out of it. Like I haven't done a little video short in a while. I did a bunch of pre-recorded videos, and then I haven't made the artwork for the videos. So I need to get on that. So hit me, DL, tell me. But while we're waiting for the enchanted, lore of Crocs, today I'm working on, as you can see over here, our little man. I was hired to create some Lord of the Rings-esque characters for someone. They do a lot of Dungeons and Dragons, or tabletops, I should say, tabletop games, and they have their own characters. And they asked me to do a stylized version, my style version of their characters. So this is what we've got today. I don't know if I'm allowed to tell like the characters and a lot of detail of things like that, but we're kind of in I kind of broke some of my own rules of creation. Which somehow I'll just never learn, but So we've got this character here, clearly a very Aragorn, whoever you talk to. I always heard it was Aragorn. I know in the books it's Aragorn. Come on, we all know Aragorn sounds way better. But anyway, our little Dunedain character, kind of going up here, Men of the West, Yeah, so we got him. He's got a little beard. He's got little scars going on up in here. And so he's got a nice little ring over here. Probably not a ring of power, but you can see there's some parts of him that are missing. I'm still kind of cleaning some stuff up that I got the approval that the overall look is correct. And it's good, but it for me, I see stuff that I need to clean up. And then also, it was requested or ordered really that the shape of the sword, originally the sword, I don't know if I still have the original. Yeah, originally the sword was like this because they didn't give me specifics. So I just kind of drew this sword and was like, what about this? Which this looks cool, but they actually showed me that they said they didn't want to get caught up with the details of everything because they didn't want to constrict my art style. They wanted to see how I would create this, but I want to make sure that it's true to the characters that they created. So we kind of changed the back of here. So if I get rid of that, this layer, you can see, so I changed the back end here. We're going to work with the hilt here as well. Just a little bit, not too much. I mean, I kind of like it. I like it that it's a little simple because I don't want to get so focused on the sword that we don't. I always say, like, what is the focus? You hear me talk a lot about when you're drawing something, what is your focus? You can get really detailed, like hyper detailed with the design elements of your entire piece. And there's nothing wrong with that. But when you want something to be the main focus and then you have a bunch of frilly details all around the side of it, then it takes away from the beauty of whatever your main goal, your main purpose was. So for this, obviously we always want it to be the face, and then everything needs to accentuate, the main topic, the main purpose. So the topic is not the sword. And as far as I know, in the lore of this character, the sword is not something that is spectacular. So, for example, with Frodo and the One Ring, the ring is something special. So you will often see that that's very highlighted in a picture, or Frodo's holding it in his hand, something that indicates this tiny thing is very special. It's meaningful. There's a purpose behind it. I was not told in the brief that the sword was anything particularly special, but it's necessary. So this is where we find ourselves. So the sword, I have my reference over here, and the sword it goes straight on one side and curves on the other one. So that's what we're going to fix right now, and then kind of clean up a couple of areas everywhere else. Tommy Doyle, hello. Hello and welcome. Look at this avatar. Look at this happy person over here with the Death Star in Lego form. I mean, happiness. Just happiness. Okay, so I'm going to make another layer, just in case, and we're going to kind of I didn't do any practices before I got started this morning. Maybe I should do that right now. So I'm just going to, I don't know, we're going to draw a circle. I don't know if it's exactly the same because you're always supposed to start off with like practice sessions. I say you're supposed to. Always recommended. Kind of like if you're a singer or you're an athlete, you want to do some practices to get the blood flowing and get readjusted to, excuse me, the pen and all this kind of stuff. All right, so looking at the sword, let's see, it's kind of wide over here. We'll just follow this and we'll clean it up. It's not, I mean, now, look, the mighty butter knife. Just goes to show you how important shapes are. So I wonder if this is too loose right now. We'll make it work. We'll make it work. So, all right, let's just breathe. But I hope you all are having a great day. Please hit the like button while you're hanging out with me. And if you're just going to be lurking, I appreciate and see you too. Yeah, I got to figure out how to do, all right, straight line. And then it curves just a little bit. And we'll just kind of clean this up as we go. Let's see what we can do. That one was nice, but I didn't quite hit the mark. And then we can always clean that up. This, I like, this one's, you know, the reference I have a little bit more arrogant. It's a little more elegant. But because this is Chibi form, I kind of like that it's like this. So, got your link bookmarked. Ah, okay. Thank you for utilizing. Oh, the tip of my pen is a little. Thank you for utilizing the bookmark feature. I haven't seen you for a while there, Rogetta. How are you? I lurk because I'm at work. Mando, you're always welcome to lurk. One of the best lurkers on the internet, as far as my opinion goes. Here we go. I too am at work, Mando. What's your excuse? No, okay. I mean, that looks pretty good. The other thing that was difficult, it might seem like a small thing, but I really struggled with the sword because of this particular angle, because it might not look like it, but I have to think this way, is that the sword isn't just, he's not just holding the sword like this, where it's just going straight across, right? But it's actually at something of a slight angle, which distorts the perspective of the blade. And that makes it hard for angles and things like that, because when you really start paying attention to the things of the world, it kind of puts it off. And it's a whole thing we could go into. I don't know if I have the proper words to really get into that, but it's a whole thing. All right. So yeah, he didn't want me to get too bogged down with the details, but then on top of here, we've got like some little squiggly marks, and that's kind of cool. So what if I went down like this? And there's no rhyme or reason for this. I believe that this, this sword example that was sent to me, this is completely AI generated. So there's a lot of nonsensical things in here, which from a distance is fine, right? Like, but I can see a lot of erroneous markings. So that gives me some liberty to do. This doesn't have a swirl feature, does it? Because that would be cool. What do we got here? We have edge crystal. Oh, we have swirl. Okay, let's practice some swirling, guys. Okay, I'm excited now. Okay, so what I was thinking of was just kind of, let me make this a little wider here. Just kind of, because this is essentially what it looks like. This is essentially what it looks like on the blade. So, you know what? Let's just have some fun with it. Let's just see. All right, swirl left or right, Gandalf? Left. All right, how big is this? Oh, this is, whoa, we don't need, okay. We must shrinky dinky. Yeah, that's better. All right. No, too much. Shrinky dinky. This literally is making it look like AI, and that's so funny. I wonder if I should do a challenge like that. Like, artists draw AI. That would be cool. Maybe I can get some of my friends to do that, and we can make that for the members, like a special members thing. Because I just don't know if I have time to do that on a regular stream, but that would be kind of fun. Okay, the distortion. Can this go a little faster? Momentum. I don't fully understand the whole liquefy thing. Like, could we go faster? Like in Photoshop or Illustrator. Yeah, this is because now it's like distorting way too much. This is literally like, let's undo that really quickly. Let's change the size. Oh, look how fast it goes. Okay, hang on. Let's try that again. Let me shrinky dink. Hang on. I'm going to go to the right because it kind of. So, okay. One thing I don't like about the liquefy tool is that it only has reset. It doesn't have go back. So that's, yeah. Fantastic. I know. I'm trying to give you all my best, my best. Trying to be, I mean, like I said, if anybody knows from previous streams, I've had a lot going on in the personal life. And so it's not allowed me to be consistent. So I'm kind of trying to make up for lost time. And then you shrink this. Are you complaining? Fantastic. Like, do you have a problem? You have a problem with me? Like, don't kill your hats. Fantastic. Were you around last year or the year before that when I did my challenges with other YouTubers where they gave me the prompt? They told me what they wanted, the medium I had to work with, and how many hours I was allowed to work on a project. I believe it was Mark with a C, the gospel, according to Mark with a C. And he wanted, dear God, he wanted four people, if I'm not right. Yeah, he wanted 4 people, G.I. Joe people, right? He wanted 4 G.I. Joe people done in my style with an explosion in the background with the Cobra Commander or whatever it's called. I'm not a G.I. Joe person. Symbol being torn in half. And he gave me the specifics of which characters he wanted and all this kind of stuff. And I had to do that in 8 hours. Now, typically and this was and he wanted it hand drawn with markers. Okay. All right. Yeah. Turned out really great. Like a lot of problems there, but a lot of problems with the things that I wish I could have cleaned up or whatever, but 8 hours is not a long time, right? So even digitally, it can take me about 4 to 6 hours just to complete one character. I had to create I had to flesh out, I had to ink out, and then I had to color 4 characters in 8 hours. That was a tough challenge, I tell you. But it was fun. So, but I will tell you this, I had to do a lot of self-care in between a lot of those episodes because my arms were aching. And sometimes that still happens, and I guess it's just how it is. So I try to make sure, because between using this hand for editing and then using this hand for coloring and drawing and whatnot, it gets to be a lot. So I try to make sure that I do self-care when it comes to my arms, because I mean, like, this is my job. Like, this is what I do primarily. And I need to go. Hey, Larry Knight, I emailed you, sir. Hope you got that. Let's talk. MD Bauer, how you have a link tree without an OnlyFans account. Whenever I see a link tree without an OnlyFans or anything similar to it, I unfollow. Haha, I hate that stuff so much. Well, I'm glad, because you'll never get that from Tabitha. We don't do that here. We follow Jesus here. So, all right. So this is a little bit crooked here. I don't know. See, the problem is that this part's crooked, but this part's not. So let's just, yeah, now it looks weird. Hang on. Yeah, I don't think that's going to work. My attempt at AI didn't work. You know what? I kind of like this. I mean, I think that kind of works, but I don't think that will be acceptable. So let's clear this. It was a fun little test run, though. So now what we're going to do is go to drawing guide. Here we go. I'm going to find the center of the sword, and that's roughly the good stuff. And I think maybe we'll just do some really intentional designs. I don't know. Does that look pretty cool? Again, I think I'm starting to make this sword way too flamboyant. But it's kind of fun. Let's see. What if I crisscross? Yeah, we're starting to get really way too detailed here. This kind of looks like the Elder Wand a little bit. Yeah, I feel like that's. I wonder if I can shrinky dinky it a little bit. See if that works. A flamboyant sword sounds funny. Mando, loud noises. Okay. I think this would work out. It's not colored yet either, so that makes a big difference. And then let me take the drawing guide off. Yeah, it's off. And then I'm take the symmetry off. Let's see here. Let's erase this. And then a little bit long. Exactly. Loud noises. Is that mouse? It's not mouse, but mouse is involved in this. This is actually his. This is his project. He announced that the other night. So I feel like I'm allowed to say, oh, this is going to be. Oh. All right. It's one of his characters from his. Let's see if we can work with this. It's one of his characters from one of his campaigns. But I don't know if it's his character per se. I know he had some other people that were part of the campaign with him. All right, hang on. Let's see. Okay, it's a little. Because it does get a little thicker at the end. Of course, again, this is an AI reference. So, we kind of, we try to make AI look good, right? Try to make AI look good. Here we go. Let's go back down a ways. Excuse him, what? All right, let's see. Go back down a little ways. Shh, moment of silence for the artist here. I need to get that paper stuff off of Amazon. This is ridiculous. All right, let's. Okay. It's just sliding all over. I didn't think I used to have much of a problem with that, but I do. It didn't used to be a problem, but then I took an arrow to the knee. I might just be able to fix this in coloring. I think I'm spending, well, it's not so bad. I think I'm spending way too much time on this sword. Look, everybody, it's our favorite wallflower. Good morning, Chrysanth. Haven't seen you for a while. Hope you're doing all right. Oh, awesome. So great. Well, yeah, okay. Then shameless plug time since we're talking about commission pieces and all that kind of stuff. This is a commission piece. Someone has hired me to take care of the work that needs doing for this character to bring it to life. This is a tabletop character, and they had an AI generated image of what they kind of wanted. And then they said, I would like to have your style of our character. So they hired me. And then Larry has hired me for several things here. And one of them being like this one, which is one of my favorites, taking kind of like a futuristic Naya. I really liked that. I liked the coloring and everything. At the moment, I don't have the other ones uploaded. The one that I think I have the easiest access to is, it doesn't have the name on it. Sorry there, Larry. As far as the design goes. But then I had this creation, and I really liked how this one came out too. She just looks so powerful and jubilant at the same time. And thanks to Larry, I think I'm getting better at clothing. So shout out, Larry. But yeah, if you need me to do like little comic strips, or, you know, you just want to take real people in your life and turn them into little caricatures for Christmas time, hit me up. October is full. November still has some openings left. And you know, I've done little things for Know Me Without You and several others. So, you know, whatever your heart's desire, email me at dreamingtabitha@gmail.com and let's talk. Let's work it out like a fool, like a fool. It's what you said, and I was like, how did that work out so well? How did that work out so well? That's awesome. It's Jesus. Been all right. Work's been killing me, but what else is new? Well, it's because you're discovering the cure for everything, right? You're working on the science. Unlike Nomi, who doesn't do things for the science. She does things for ice cream. Okay. We do stuff for the science. Yeah. Oh, really? You know, YouTube has been weird. I saw all over the Twitterverse yesterday that, and then even like YouTube came out with a statement saying we're working on it. And then they said, oh, we should be good with it now. Somebody was saying that YouTube was updating stuff. You know, the thing is, and I can't say that they didn't. I haven't been following per se, but it just kind of makes me wonder, like, if you guys would make an announcement that YouTube will be down. You know, sometimes Fortnite does that. By the way, hey, Fortnite, Friday the 13th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Fortnite will be doing an update for the next 12 hours or whatever the case might be. I mean, just keep us in the know, like communication. I don't know if YouTube did that or not. I cannot say I'm privy to that from what I'm gathering from what I saw. Not really. Took everybody by surprise. And then they apologized that it was being such a butthole, and and then they fixed it. I don't know, but we're glad you're here, iCanalyst, regardless, because I set up this stream last night, so that's interesting. It's interesting. She loved it. Oh, I'm glad. I will defend Nomi. Ice cream is worth it. Not when the science is involved, Mando. Come on. I mean, if you're offering ice cream, I won't say no. Of course. But you know, she could have gotten ice cream for the science, but she didn't. She didn't. I have proof. YouTube was all over the place last night, right when Sevi was trying to stream. Yes. Okay. I did not get to witness the outrage last night, but I was waiting. I was working on some stuff, and I had her YouTube channel up waiting for the fun, and the fun never came, and it was just a gray screen, and I saw you guys in the chat like, "Uh-oh, what's happening?" And then I saw she was live over on Kick, and and then I got to witness the aftermath. Oh my gosh, you guys. But she seemed so happy about it, right? I'm sure she wasn't when she was cussing and swearing up a storm, but she seemed so happy about it when she came back on. And it was so funny. I mean, she just seemed like she was high on life. She was saying hi to the chat and like, oh my gosh, Tabitha's here. Check out Tabitha. She is awesome. Look what she did for me. And guys, she even put the pink in my shoes and like just because I have done some work. Oh, let me see if I have that available up here. I mean, she already talked about it. It's what's done is done. But she recently hired me to make little stickers. Hang on, you can't see because Larry's in the way. Larry gets down in front. Made little stickers for her. She's gonna pass these out at MegaCon. So yeah, hit me up. I'm your girl. You want to have stuff for MegaCon to pass out? It's one of the best ways to do it. It's super fun. Hit me up. Yes, my games tell you what. Yeah, 100%. 100%. It seems like YouTube never notifies people when it's a major update. Yeah, for real. It's the dumbest thing. Sorry, looking at emails. I'm getting emails. Yeah. And now you're not morning. Got my Did you? I know. I never actually posted any of that to Twitter. I that's amazing. Like all of it just kind of took off between Kick and YouTube was the primary thing. I never even announced it on Twitter and I sold quite a few shirts from people. So thank you. Thank you. If you guys awesome. I saw that and I was like, wait a minute, let me see what that is. But yeah, like a fool. The stickers are still available. So if you want to be part of the Cool Kids Club, you can still get the like a fool shirt. I know Nomi texted me yesterday. She's like, guess what came in the mail? I'm like, oh my gosh. So we're all the plan is that we're all those who bought it and are going to be at MegaCon. We're going to get a nice like a fool inside joke theater photo shoot of all of us with our like a fool t-shirts. That's the plan. So I'm very much looking forward to that. All right. Let's clean up our Mr. So-and-so. You know, I have a problem as much as I love the way this cloak looks because there's a lot of movement and Tabitha is very bad at fabric. She's working on it. I think that this is blowing out the wrong way. This should be somehow in reverse, and I got to figure out how to do that because it's blowing out behind. It's not like it's blowing forward, blowing out into the side. So I need to fix that. I haven't worn my like full shirt, but I did wash it last night. I never wear anything until I went. Makes sense. Okay, so fun fact. I don't know. I feel like this is a Kick redeem kind of situation. Over on Kick, we have channel redemption points, and you can ask me for a fun fact, but I'll just drop it. I'll just for free. Okay. For the fans, I need to get that. I need to get that from K-pop Demon Hunters for the fans. When I was in college, I took a class for screen printing. If you don't know what that is, that has to do a lot of times with like the designs on your clothing. They print them on the screen, and it has to do with a lot of thick, like rubbery dyes. And oh, there we go. Chrysanth has redeemed a random fact drop. There, she saved it. Okay. All right. So now I'm allowed to do it. Thank you. Paid in full. So I took screen printing when I was in college and learned quite a bit about a lot and then forgot a lot about a little. So, but anyway, with what DL is saying here, the teacher told us it is always a good idea to wash your clothing from the store before you wear it because so when you go through the screen printing process, what you do is you have these panels about as big as a large iPad, maybe a little bit bigger. And that's where your design goes on your chest, right? Or wherever it is, but typically it's on the chest, right? So let's just say I'm going to print my name on my chest. Okay. So you have to take your shirt, pull it kind of like an ironing board, pull it across the little plank, straighten it out. On the plank is adhesive. Just a lightweight adhesive, but just enough so that the fabric doesn't move around too much. And sometimes you have to lift it up and reposition the fabric, lift it up, reposition the fabric. So that way your design goes on straight. But every time you're doing that, you're adding more adhesive to different parts of the shirt. And then you have your screens that go down and you spread the ink on it and the gummy stuff and whatever, and that presses the ink into the fabric, and then there's the pushing it into the adhesive, and then you put it under a heater, right, basically to cure the dye, the gummy dye, which then also heats up the adhesive, and then you lift it off and then you throw it in the bin for consumption. Okay, that means that every time you buy a brand new shirt, the adhesive and all the chemicals and stuff like that are still on the inside of the shirt. And it has been proven that the type of fabric we wear and the dyes and everything like that do affect us physically, because the skin is the most absorbing organ of your body. And so wash your shirts before you wear them. Otherwise, you're basically putting a layer of glue on your chest. And this is where your lungs and your heart and all that kind of good stuff is. So wash your clothes before. Can testify it is true. There is a layer, a thin layer, but there is a layer of glue on the inside of all, or on the back, wherever there's a design on the inside of your shirt. Hey, Raul and T Designs, who is this bearded hero? He is a character from a tabletop game that someone hired me to create. So we're getting it done. I feel, let's see, I feel. I need to get rid of this. What is this little line here? What is that? Okay, what is this line? Aha, this like right here. Let me get rid of that little dot. Okay. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Thank you, Chrysanth, for allowing us to have this, amazing piece of the knowledge. Okay. So his little skirt thingy is a tunic, I know. But I feel like it needs to have a little bit of a gap there so that it's indicating that it's going across. Because over here it just kind of stops, but you can't see it. The sword's kind of in the way. There's a smidge of it here, but you can't really. So just to have something that will, of course, the colors will then make a difference here. Let's see. Where are all my... I'm confused. What layer is this? Oh, this layer. Well, I was pressing that layer. For the love. Okay, so that's not the right layer. All right, here we go. This layer. Layer 16? Okay. Well, I'm on layer 16. Are there more than 1/16? Yes, okay. Well, okay. Well, this 16. Oh, that's that one. Hang on. I'm really confused. I have confused my layers. What in the flippity doodah? Okay, what is this layer? 9. Yeah, give me layer 9. Okay, but that's not. No. What about? $16. This makes 0 sense to me. Something is wrong. I'm confused. Hang on a second. Definitely gives. Yeah, he's supposed. From what I'm understanding, he's a Dunedain character. I can't give him a pet sidekick because that was not what was asked of me. Ah, see, then okay, something is wrong, and I am confused. Yeah, see, that's not meant to happen. Okay, we're going to get rid of everything. See, that says it's right here. So why is that? Okay. Why is, I think sometimes, okay, I will admit that sometimes Procreate can be a little finicky. It's not a perfect app. It is almost perfect, but there are some times where it does the dumbest things, or I think it's just, I don't know, overwhelmed and it kind of crashes out. So this is what we're having here in this moment, is a little bit of a crash out, I am thinking. So a lot of times what I have to do is like X out and then come back in. So we'll see. It resets really easily. It's literally just in and out, but obviously that's frustrating because it happens out of nowhere, much like YouTube, and you're like, wait a minute, something wrong here. Okay, so let me put that back in. So I cleaned that up. Now what is this line that is here? Right here. This is the cowl that needs, well, it's supposed to be like his little cloak. So these little lines need to disappear. And then that, it's just what it is because it gathers back here, you know. Oh, okay. I will look at it. We'll be in contact. And I'm just gonna let you guys know, I'm up front. If I don't think I can do something, because by the way, also like just not saying anybody's doing this, but I don't do any like weird fetish stuff. I don't do sexual stuff. I don't do any of that. It's not, you got to find somebody else to take care of that. Not saying any of you are doing that. I'm just throwing it out there. We keep it at least PG-13 here. I don't mind some blood. You want to have somebody hold up a head, but you know, I don't like, come on, like come on, man. So but I just want to throw that out there. But I will be upfront with you if I can or cannot accept something. I know what my limitations are with my artwork, but I'm also not afraid of a challenge. Well, that's not true. I'm totally afraid of a challenge, but there are some times where I have to dig deep and understand that this is a challenge I can't conquer versus, oh, okay. Like if you're going to ask me to do some kind of like super ninja that kind of looks like, I don't know, Jason Statham doing this, that, and the third, and you want it to be more anime style, I will tell you right now, I'm not well versed in that. I don't know. What you guys primarily see me draw, I've kind of done a couple of characters that aren't exactly chibis, but if you guys look at my portfolio and you've been around Dreaming Tabitha for a long time, these are the kind of characters that I do. So let me be upfront about that as well, just so you guys know what you're getting into. If you're asking me for somebody who looks more like Sailor Moon, I can try. Might take a little longer because it's not necessarily in my wheelhouse. I've done a couple of them, but it's not my strength. My strength is chibis, which we've gone into the lore of Tabitha and how that's so crazy because I never wanted to be a chibi artist. But here I am. But you know, so it's Optimus Prime. Okay. Well, you know, we'll talk. We'll look. Transformers are freaking hard, man, because there's a lot of pieces there, but they're not impossible. And I've actually wanted to attempt Optimus Prime. So we'll talk. And we'll talk and I'll let you know. I'll be 100% transparent with you on whether or not it's something that I can do for you, because I want you to have the best experience. I don't want you to waste your time, you know, especially if it's something for your personal life or if it's for a loved one or something like that. I want you to be able to find somebody else quickly so that you can achieve your dreams. It's either Aragon or Jared Leto. Make sure you tell Moss that. He needs a can of mayo. On the other hand, I don't know that this is Moss's character. So there's 4 characters. And this is just the first one that I started with. I don't actually know which one's Moss's character specifically or which one belongs to his friends. Technology so brilliant, yet at the same time so stupid. Yeah, it, you know. Later to the party, yes. Nobody's been perverts. Mars Monkey Mix. I just like to throw that out there. I mean, if people haven't figured that out about me, but some people are new, and so I do. I draw the line at perverse things. Like I don't do that, you know. Even when I draw like Fear the Beardo swearing, I change the letters because we're not actually going to swear. So all right. Because I don't, did I have that? Hang on, let's look at our not our artillery. What are the words that I'm looking for? Give me kicks to cover these ghosts. Oh, it's on my iPad. Like I could show you. These are some of my commission pieces. I know I literally could just do that here. Oh, right here. So, like not real words, but just the indication. Same thing with Jeremy over here. Yeah, Mario Kart. It's just a game. Okay, here we go. Let's go back to here. There we go. You don't know that, but it's probably true. Okay. All right. Oh no. Where's this word? Did I turn? Don't tell me I got rid of it. Oh, dear God. Thank you. Okay. Phew. I'm like, not all that. All right. So let's have a look. Things are coming along, looking around, seeing what I personally think needs to be kind of changed. I do think that, hang on. Sees something. Now I got to find it. Okay, maybe it's this layer. 16 seems to be the one, the chosen one. All right, let's try this. Nope, that's not it either. Oh my gosh, why is this so hard? Because you got to be more organized, Tabitha. You got to get Orvalized. Here we go. Okay, so we got that. We could always schmerge, but I don't think it's time to schmerge just yet. Oh no. Okay. Oh, so it is here. Where is this? Oh, it is this layer. So why is it that I don't know. Okay, I think hang on. One second. Hang on. Let's try a reset here. All right, there we go. Maybe that will kind of work better. Okay, so I mean, there's not much else. Hang on. Not much else to the outfit of the character because again, we want it, I want to attempt to I have to do that because when I color it, I want to keep the main thing. And a lot of times, like the characters, even with the reference I have, it's like he has a belt here, belt across the bottom. Maybe I need to do the same thing like I did with the other one. Let me make this a little smaller. Just put some. These ones are a little bit, kind of like that. It adds a little something, something. I don't have any stitch work. I mean, he's a dude that wanders out in the wilderness. He's not going to have like you got your shirt? Okay, Nagranol was saying this thing. Was it Nagranol? It was saying the same thing. Excellent. Look at that. Everybody wearing their like a fool shirt. I love it. I love it. I know I was going to wear mine this morning, but it's a little chilly. So I thought I should wear white. Yes, 100%. Make sure you wash it. You don't want that goo on you. You don't want it. Nobody wants. Okay, so let me go back in here to this one, I think it is. Yep. Get rid of these lines because they're unnecessary. And then all right, I think it's time to schmerge. I think it is time. What I'm going to do, I'm going to duplicate, go back in here, and now we schmerge. That way we can always go back if we must. What is chilly where I'm at? Well, it feels like 70 degrees, Chris. That's what it feels like. Okay. All right. We're schmerging. Nope. That was a bad idea. Okay. So Do I want to flatten this? Okay, nothing bad happened. This serves no purpose apparently, so we're gonna... Okay, we're schmerging this. Okay, this is what we're schmerged. By the way, this was the original concept art here. So you can see how it starts layer upon layer just to get the idea like, hey, are we going in the right direction? You know, so if I work with you, this is part of the process. I sketch out something very loose, very rough. I was telling my client, yes, I'm fully aware that the eyebrows don't necessarily match. I'm fully aware that some of the hands look wonky, fully aware that the sword is not straight, this, that, and the third. This is just concept art. Are we going in the right direction? Does this somewhat capture, vaguely capture the idea of what you're wanting in a character? We can always change the clothing. We can always make everything crisp and pristine. Clearly, I'm not going to leave it this way. But do you like the overall general idea of the character? And that's when the client then tells me, yes, but could you change this? Yes, overall, I like this. But could you make the sword this shape? Yes, I like this, but could you add a necklace? Could you add more wisps to his hair? Yes, I got you. You know, I also always tend to ask for creative liberty. You know, there's sometimes where it's like you'll throw something in there because it's like, this would make it look better. Ultimately, it's down to what the client wants. But I like to try to be involved because my job is to think of the things that other people don't think about. And to suggest it to that person. So then once I get the okay, yes, we're going in the right direction, that's when I start. I did this a little bit backwards. Normally, then what I do is take a different color and I'll sketch over everything and make it look more clean and then change whatever it is that I need to change. Then I'll send it to the person again, client again, and be like, hey, okay, so I cleaned it up. Do you like this? Is this good? And then they'll say yes. So that's when then we go into what we call this is the sketch process. Then we go into the inking process, where then I draw over top of things. I clean things up. I sharpen them. I switch things about and whatnot. And so then we work on this and I'll tell the client again, do you like this? Because I'm not going to color it. Because once I have to tell people, and I did fail to mention that too. I'm still learning. Look, I'm still learning. But I don't start coloring until the lines are everything that you want them to be. Because once I start coloring, we do not change the lines. Like, this is it. This is the line in the sand. Because to go back and after I've colored everything, like that's ridiculous work. It wasn't, you weren't being honest with me when you told me that you liked the line work. And then I like to give people a couple of days, maybe a day or two, because time is money, but a day or two to think about, like, hey, look at this line work, see if you like it, come back to me the next day, let me know. Is this something that we like? Is this something we enjoy? Once I get the okay from you, and that's why I keep documentation too. It's not that I don't trust people, it's that I don't trust people. Look, you can be an amazing person, but at the end of the day, we are all human, okay? That's how I come at this. Like, we're people. So I keep documentation and I always clearly like, hey, always professional, of course, like very friendly. I'm not going to be like, hey, you said no, but do I have your approval? You want me to continue with the colors? You want me to start the colors? We are good with the line work. And when they say, yes, go for it. That way I have documentation stating you did this, so that if you decided to change your mind, I try to be flexible. Look, I understand. Like, it's totally fine. But at the end of the day, I need to be able to make sure I can move the production line along, especially when I have more than one piece that I need to work with. So I have 4 characters to work on. So I already told my client, I'm like, I'm not going to start with the colors until I get all the characters. That way it's more uniform. as well. That works. It's easier for me. I mean, I could technically save the palettes, but it just kind of helps with this. And exactly, it's just business. It's just business. It's nothing personal. It's basically to help me. It's to help me have a better relationship with you so that we fully understand what we want from each other. It's never about, hey, stop being a butthead and just decide if you want these lines or not. It's more of like, hey, I can't finish your project or your product until I know for sure. And so then I also clarify, like at the end when I get the color and everything's been adjusted, because I've had some people say, well, I like it, but could you make the pants darker? Sure, no problem. I can do that. I can adjust the colors. But like I said, once the colors go down, there's no more changing the line work. And then once the colors are down and I double check and I triple check, hey, do you like this? Do you like this? And sometimes I throw in a freebie in there and be like, hey, I'm also going to give you one that has this. They didn't ask me for that, but I think it's something that they could use. So I just throw in a freebie. Once that's done, then I will message them back and say, okay, we got the line work, got the colors, everything is where it needs to be. Because they'll tell me, oh, I love it. This is perfect. Thank you so much. That kind of tells me that they, in their minds, they look at it as complete. So then that's when I verify, are you, or I don't say are you, it's like a cut and dry. It's like, all right, I will make sure I clean everything up and I'm going to put everything and finalize this. Does this once, basically I worded it. It's like, once you respond back to this email, we will consider this project completed. Yes, it is. It's yes or no. And then they'll message me back and say yes. And again, it's like I keep this on file. I have documentation. Okay, that once this is done, you told me, you told me that this was done. So then it's marked as business complete. And it just keeps it easy. It's not trying to be a butthead. It's trying to be keeping you and me connected. Yeah, DL, that was really nice. I've come a long way since that, and I really appreciate it. What's different is that DL asked me for a hand-drawn art piece, which I also do that. I do also draw chibis by hand, and I hand color them as well. It's a little bit different of a process versus digital, and I appreciate DL's I don't know, is compliance, is that the right word? I don't want it to sound terrible, but it was a little bit different. And I've also learned a lot since then. So DL, I appreciate you for being a stepping stone in my productivity. Definitely. Because with every commission, I'm always learning something. And so you were definitely a huge part in helping me elevate. By the way, thank you for the follow over there. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Yabiga? Bija? I don't know how to pronounce your name, but thank you for the follow. We are getting closer and closer to 400 followers over there on Kick. We need 4 more people. Thank you. Thank you so much. Let me see here. That's right. Friends are friends, but business is business, Tabitha. That's why I pay you up front. I refuse to play around. I appreciate that, and I kind of leave it up to the client. Like, I like to give a little wiggle room. It's like, okay, I don't get started till I get paid. It is up to you if you want to pay in full, or it's up to you if you want to pay half now and then half and the rest when the project is completed. I like to give people a little bit of wiggle room there, but I do not get started. I used to do that, and I made the mistake. And then I would put work into something, heart and soul, and then wouldn't get paid. And the client was like, no, I don't want it anymore, or whatever the case was. And it's like, no, we don't play that game anymore. I have learned the lesson the hard way. You feel kind of like you're like a terrible person because you're asking for money, but it's like, no, you're not asking for money. You're acquiring payment for services. So now I have learned that you get your money now or not at all. So that's my process. I try to keep it as simple as possible because I want it to be as easy for me and the client. I'm always learning, I'm always growing. And so sometimes the experiences, if you use me over and over again, there might be some subtle changes. And again, I'll be transparent with you about it. It's like, hey, given my previous, I did not account for this. Here's the reason why. it's just, it's just the same way. It's not, it's just the same way with Disney increasing their prices or whatever like that at the parks. Like at the end of the day, they got to take care of themselves. Not saying it's always the best decision, but you know what I'm saying? Like businesses have to change. Businesses have to evolve and adjust for whatever their lifestyle is and all that kind of stuff too. So it's just, Mockany draws for $2 and then a super sticker. That's totally worth this face. So they're going to try to take these. Maria for $2. Mockany, I was watching some of your stuff. I'm a lurker. I am. And I was checking out some of your stuff. Hope you are doing well, friend. We need to get Mockany on the channel. Excuse me. We gotta find time in our schedules, man. Like we gotta figure this stuff out. I can't draw or color, so it's a blessing. Hey, everybody can. It just depends on how well you want to be. How is it spelled? How is what spelled? I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, I had to learn this. This is what everybody was telling me. And you always felt a lot of artists, especially when you're first starting out, they all feel like this. They always feel bad for asking for money first. And then when you get, and then you get older and you realize business is business, friendship is friendship. And that's why when I talk to people too, who are my friends, who want my services, people can attest to this. I try to make sure that I write my emails as professionally as possible. I try not to make it sound like, hey dude, what's up? Like, so grateful for the experience. Like, what do you have in mind? Hit me with the good stuff. Mm-mm. I might become a little bit more leisure if it's somebody who I've worked with numerous times. For the most part, though, I try to keep it as professional as possible because it helps me. It's not just about you. This helps me to keep a clean line between friends versus clients, business versus casual. Thank you, Larry. See, Larry can attest. I do. I try to keep my emails as professional as possible. I try to make sure I use the right punctuation, the right grammar. I try to make sure everything's capitalized where it needs to be. And, this is how I roll. It's how we roll in the Shire. Speaking of the Shire, let's get back to our little dude over here. All right. I love, excuse me. Oh, my voice. I love, on Kick, it is Yebiga. I don't know. It sounds Vietnamese or something like that. But thank you everybody for hanging out with me. Thanks for the love and the I didn't even get to see what the super sticker was. Like, what was the super sticker? Oh, it was a little doggy with hearts. Thank you, Mockany. Okay. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and duplicate this. Why not? Okay. But I love the way this looks, but it's this here. So maybe we can just, because once I get this finished, then I will send it to Mouse. And then today I can get started with his other characters, which I'm super excited to get. I never even thought about the fact that this could be torn. I mean, he's a freaking Dunedain, however you're going to pronounce it. Like, they would totally make sense that it would be worn out. See? Well, this is what we're due. Because I can't determine that for Moss. He did like the clean version. He did like the whole version of this, but I'm going to suggest it to him and be like, hey, so I was working on your character and it just occurred to me that maybe, so this is where the creative liberty and then the communication comes in, where I say, hey, maybe he has a torn thing because he is, and then Moss might come back to me with the facts and be like, well, because that's Moss, and Moss is a total geek and we love him for it. He'll be like, well, he got this from the elves and it doesn't tear, and so, and which is a valid reason. So that's why, again, communication is important. Like, I will throw something in there that I think makes it work and look better. And then Moss will come at me or whatever client it is and say, well, I like that, but I don't want it. That's fine. That's fine. The Real Steven TV, good morning. Yes, it is. Big goals. How is you? By the way, I believe Maria and I are going to be attempting to do some golf with your friends this evening at some point. Going to see if I can show Maria around town and just kind of see if she can develop a love for the game without all of the chaos that comes from this one person alone. Just kidding. They didn't tell me, so I gotta roll with it. So, maybe just the one cut. Like the thing is there's a lot going on down south and I got to make sure it doesn't take away. But I think, that would kind of fix the problem. And I like that it adds a little bit of the grunge. Like it kind of carries down from the head down to the tail of the cloak where it's like, he's got a fancy sword and whatnot, but like he's hardcore. I do. Oh, good. We get more. You guys, okay. I did not think the random fact of Tabitha would be something that would be. I mean, I have like freaking whole bunches of other things. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, let's see, 6, 3, 6, 9, 12 different things that you could redeem over there. And everybody seems to be fixated on, random fact drop. I might be a bump those numbers up. I might run out of facts about myself. What is the ADD one for? I must keep moving the entire time. No standing still for 2 minutes. Oh, that's my I have to specify that's my character. It's not me. And then there's the what had happened. I will dramatically narrate what just happened in the game. It's right. I've got a lot of good stuff, like reverse the controls, honorary NPC over there. You get a character, location, or weapon named after you in the ongoing game. Super fun. Like we have a good time over on Kick. You can look in the link tree, follow me for gaming over there. Everybody loves the facts. We mini golf Tuesday. I love mini golf, man. When I was on Kick and they had points for that, I think one person redeemed like 30 in one day. Yeah, we love the hydrate with Maria because she drinks her poison water, but I appreciate all of you. I appreciate all of you being here. Okay. Okay, let's review, class. That's what it was. There's like a bald spot over here. We must fix, which could be just as simple as this. But I feel like maybe some hair, like give him a little bit of body here. Let's try. Does it take away from the character? That's what we must ask ourselves. No. Kind of adds to it. I like it. I might open up the scar. I don't know. I might open up the scar a little bit here. That sounds horrific, but I think that it makes a difference. I'm not sure what this line here is for. So we'll get rid of it. Clean up the lines on the scar down here. Clean up over here. Clean up on aisle 7. I had to specify change my outfit channel points because someone wanted me to see me in a maid. Oh no. Yes, you got to be specific. Well, I bet you don't eat Christmas lights or squirt Glade air fresheners in your eye anymore. No, not anymore, because they don't make those air fresheners anyway that way anymore. Probably because of me. They probably don't. If you guys know, you know. If you don't, sorry, you got to be part of the club over on Kick. I'm sorry. We're the YouTube gaming channel. Sorry. Okay. All right. So we just kind of go around cleaning the urges. I'm so grateful for you guys. It took a lot. Somebody in our community told me that I should live stream my commission work so that I could advertise what I do. And I was really nervous about that. Nervosis, because I've explained this before where it's like this, number one, this is work for other people. And you're kind of afraid that that person is going to come into the chat. And so far, I've only worked with good people, but I can't anticipate always working with friends. Okay. And hopefully I won't, because you want to go beyond the boundaries of your comfort zone, right? And typically your friends are nice to you and whatever. But I want to treat this in like a professional capacity. And so doing commission work live is kind of tricky because you're also wanting to be in the zone, being able to focus and whatnot. And what the freak is this? And it makes it really hard. But through this, I've been able to gain commission work, and it was such good advice. So it's, again, one of those things where it's like getting out of your comfort zone, and figuring out how to make it work. I don't advise, it depends on each person. Maybe you don't advise doing the first layout. Like, I probably wouldn't do the initial start of a drawing, because I kind of feel like, I believe personally that the client should have first viewing of the sketch. I don't know, there's just something in my mind where I feel like um the client deserves the first look to let me know, and then I can go on with it. That's just kind of how my mind works with it, and then just kind of roll with it from there. But I like this little dude. I like him a lot. I think somehow I've rescaled the eye, and so I need to clean this up a little bit. Hang on. Let's get a tactical pen. Whoops. Sketching. Wait, where's inking? Is it here? Where's the there it is. Tactical pen. It's a little bit finer. I don't want to increase the eye, but we're going to just add a couple of extra pixels here so it's not so blurry. Just to clean it up. Yeah. And it might look different too once I yeah, that looked a little nicer, a little cleaner. Okie day. So then also, this is just me. I started doing this. I know other people do it, and I should have done it before, but you get afraid of what people think, and then you're like, forget it. I gotta put me first. I gotta put me first. We're a little unhinged this morning. What was in that first cup of coffee? Dear God. But I started putting this little thing here. I don't know if you can see that, but it says unfulfilled. Now, technically, this client has already paid me in full, but I put the little cloud because dreaming Tabitha, obviously. And then I just put the letters in there just because it makes it kind of like a stamp where it's difficult to, it just basically lets the client know, number one, this is not finished. It's not complete. And that way, if I'm not working with friends, and you get those people who just want, like, for example, let's just say that I only got paid half, and then they could always take this and then go do it themselves. This kind of keeps that from happening. So it's like a watermark. Of course, I get rid of this completely whenever I finish the task. So no worries there if you were concerned about that. But just something that you could do for yourself. And then I just changed the, what's it called? The layer, you can change it from, hang on, this one's on, it's on soft light. So if I had it, let me click on this. If I had it on normal, where is it at? If I had it on normal, this is what it would look like. For me, it makes some people have a hard time seeing past what's in front of them to what is actually there, right? What they should be focusing on. So to me, this is distracting. I just want a little bit of it there just so it's in the minds of people. Hey, don't steal this. that's it. So that's why I changed this to, what did I have it to? Soft light. So you can barely see it, and that way it doesn't distract the client's mind so much. I didn't used to do this. I'm starting to do it now because, again, it's just safety and preservation, but it's not going to always be there. And I used to be that type of person where like, okay, well, I'm just going to keep it hidden. I'm going to make it really small and then like put it like, yeah, out of the way, because that way the client doesn't get distracted by it. But then it defeats the purpose that if somebody decided to steal your artwork, all they literally would just kind of blur that out and it's fine. So you want to have it big enough to be seen, and then it is actually super important that you kind of put it in a place that would be difficult to get rid of, and also kind of covers the important parts of your artwork, so that way it's harder to get rid of. It's a safety precaution, you know. Like I said, I didn't always do this. I started doing it again because it was like, Tabitha, don't be so concerned about people's feelings if they don't understand why you're trying to take care of yourself. Excuse me. So that's just something else. But again, I'm at the same time, I'm true to myself where I'm like, well, I don't want it to be such a distraction that people can't see. Like if you look at this right away, you can't really see it. It's a little bit darker in that one corner, but it's not really there. But if somebody were to zoom in, it's like, well, that sucks. I can't steal this. I mean, if you had any skills with Photoshop, it would be an easy fix. Shh, don't tell anybody. But again, it's more of keeping it professional, keeping it respectful. It's just boundaries. It has nothing to do with a dislike or thinking that your client's dishonest. It's more about protecting yourself. Are you doing Dan's painting in oils or acrylic? I'm doing it in oils. I don't know. Maria keeps telling me I need to finish it. That is on my list. I'm going to finish Dan Vasc portrait 2025 before 2026. I've got to. Even if I stay up all night on New Year's, I've got to. I've got to go back to my roots. We'll have that. I've actually wanted to have a what's it called? A fundraising stream. And we did that last year. It's been a whole year. We did that. We actually raised $500 last year to help the victims of the hurricane in North Carolina. I have personal ties to North Carolina, and I know people in North Carolina who were able to go around those traditional charities that were actually robbing people of money and supplies. True story. I can tell you stories. I can tell you for a fact that even the Red Cross was keeping supplies from people in the mountains, and that they were stopping people and actually confiscating the supplies, and they dictated who got it. And they wouldn't allow regular people to give it to the regular people, to the people that were hurting, because they wanted to be the ones to give it out. And people were literally traveling through the woods with horses and supplies to carry supplies to the victims of the hurricane and bypass the roads, because the police or whoever it was that were and all this kind of stuff were actually prohibiting people from getting supplies. Isn't that horrible? So I knew people. The pastor that I previously had in North Carolina had ties to other people who were doing things like that. So we knew that the money was going towards supplies for the people. So I wanted to do something else like that again. Fortunately, I don't know that there's any horrible things, but I've been looking into, they have things like Make-A-Wish, but I just talk about this. They have things called Make-A-Wish, but those are for kids, and that's wonderful. But you're right, Nagrinol. It's completely messed up. FEMA, yes. FEMA was at the heart of this in North Carolina too. FEMA was at the heart of this. Red Cross and FEMA. But they have, I've been looking into, and they have it. It's kind of personal to me. They have Make-A-Wish for adults. And I think that would be something that I would love to look into. I want to find a legitimate charity that works with helping adults have one last wish come true. I get it. Kids are important. Kids are special and everything like that. But there are some adults that never got to do whatever. Like there are some people that gave everything they had for their kids, and never got to see their wish come true. And it would be really, really cool to be able to help somebody, some hardworking individual, or I don't know. I don't get to know their story. I can just make up whatever I want to. But there's a lot of great parents out there, great aunts, great gr- grandparents, cousins, whatever the case might be, adults who never had the time, never had the money for whatever reason. Maybe they're just hardworking. Maybe life's just really expensive. Again, you've got parents that gave everything that they had for their kids and never got to have a dream fulfilled. And now they're sick and they can't afford it because medical bills are stupid. And they're just, and so I've looked into it. There are some charities that like to give people on their last leg, as they say. These are not just people that have a cough. These are not just people that are going through therapy, 3 days a week or whatever. These are people who are probably never going to see the light of day in a couple of months, kind of situation. And I'm like, that is really special because adults work hard. Kids deserve to, they get their life robbed from them at an early age, but there are some parents, some adults out there that never got the opportunity to live. And I think that would be something really cool. So maybe we'll do it like a finished Dan Vasc portrait painting charity fund, to be able to give to people who have their life cut short, it'd be kind of neat. I don't know. I'm looking into it though, because I want it to be legit. And, we are all skeptical of charities, right? These things. So if you guys know any, let me know. If you know somebody who works in one, let me know. I would love to know because I would love that it's legitimate. I would prefer it if it's somebody that I knew who knew somebody, that kind of thing. But, we do the best that we can, right? We just want to be a blessing to other people. And I thought this drawing was Dan Vasc. No, hardly. There's no monkeys. There's no bananas. There's no microphone. What are you thinking, Mars Monkey Max? The Red Cross has been corrupt for, yeah. No, it's come out more and more that the charities, money comes for us all. The Bible's clear that the love of money is, the root of all evil. The love, greed, pride, selfishness is at the heart of all of that. So anyway, Kevin Tito, good morning. We are wrapping things up. So thank you for hanging out with the brush hour. I've got to get started on other projects. I got to get started with the next character. So the next character I'm thinking of doing is either the elf character or there's another man involved. Scandalous. And he has a spear and a shield, I think. Spear and magic helmet. Shout out if you know. And there's also a hobbit involved. So I got to get some sketches out to see. I that's another thing. Always learning, ever evolving. But I kind of thought to myself as I was creating these things, dang, I probably should sketch out a general idea of how I want the characters to look because it's supposed to be a group shot, and I need their silhouettes to make sense and not fight with one another. So, oh, you've been lurking from the beginning? What? No lurking Carl emotes, Cavantino? Larry, yeah, that's right. It's the that's hilarious. The spearman's name is Larry. Yes, a hobbit, you say, a hobbit. Anyway, you guys, you have been most amazing in my life. Of course you have. Always. I am gonna attempt something here. Bear with me. A word from our sponsors here at the moment. There's supposed to be a way. Can you not? Okay. If for somebody very learned and knowledgeable in the chat, when you want to try to raid somebody, you have to do it through YouTube, yes? And how do you do that? Like, I don't know who's live right now and where I could redirect, but I'm not allowed to paste the channel URL of a user. Let's see. How do I do this? Why is it so hard, YouTube? Like, you're going to shut down the entire YouTube and make everything hard for people, but you can't make this easy? You couldn't just put a little button somewhere and saying redirect. If you're in your studio, you can go to edit, customize, and redirect. All right, we're going here. Hang on. Cancel. Nagrinals. Customization. I always go to settings. I think I get confused with something that Sevi told me one time. And I don't know. Okay. All right. I think I found some lucky individuals who are about to get a dreaming raid. But anyway, I'm so grateful for all of you. I hope Steam. What are you talking about? But I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for your time. I think this afternoon, before I play with Maria, I'm going to be doing spooky games again. And I don't care what anybody says, okay? In Steam, Stray is listed as a horror game. I mean, you have to look way down, but it's in there in the tags, is listed as a game. And I'm actually enjoying it, and I've been thinking about it, and I want to get back into it. And so, there you go. I want, this is lovely. Big Rob is a veteran that helps veterans, and I think he can do other things. Okay, I have to think about that just because. Okay, so hot take. This might sound blasphemous. It's not. Veterans, yes, we need to take care of our veterans. They sacrifice a lot. Well, yeah, it's a cat game. That doesn't mean that it can't be a horror game. I mean, look at Good Boy or whatever that movie was. It's about a dog, but it's a horror film. But I'd love to find a charity that gives to the regular people who are not special, right? Veterans, they deserve all of our attention and whatever. Of course they do. They sacrifice so much for our country. But this is going to sound harsh, but because they're a veteran, they are more likely to have the opportunity for these things. I would love it if it's like, it's Tallulah down the street. She'd been cleaning houses for 20 years, and she came to this country, and she worked hard, and she provided for her kids, and then suddenly she developed, scoliosis. I don't know. I'm trying to think of something, everybody always talks about cancer, but there's she's got like type 4 diabetes out of nowhere. I don't know. I'm not down with the sickness, but it's like, but Tallulah always wanted to go to, Disney World. Tallulah always wanted to go see a Kansas City Chiefs game, and she just never had the time or the money. That's the kind of person I'd love to help make their wish come true. If I could. Love the vets. Got vets in the family. Vets deserve everything special. Of course, they sacrifice a lot, but I don't know. There's just something that strikes my heart about the regular person. What about Dimitri over there? Who's been the janitor of a school or an office building for the last 15 years, and suddenly they found out his heart's just not working right anymore, and it's not going to be long, and he's just like, oh man, I just always wanted to go to Arcadia, Maine, and just walk the forest, the fairy tale forest, like that. Like that would be great. He's just a nobody, quote unquote. He's just a janitor, but we could maybe make his dream come true. That would be really cool. See, it has the deranged hedgehogs. Exactly. Yeah, I know. People were surprised that I'm not a cat. Oh, by the way, Grapes and a Hype. Thank you. I totally saw that. I do go to North Carolina every now and then. I have family up there. What was I saying? But I don't know. The concept of the game is interesting, and I like it. And so we'll return. I don't know what time I will, because I've got to get some work done. But good stream. Thank you. Look forward to your gaming. Okay, check the pinned comment for the link tree for my different outlets for like gaming and whatnot, and we will catch you all later. You know what? I feel like we deserve some foolishness. Catch you later, everybody. Oh wow,
I died.
Well,
guys, I died.
Well, there was a reason we were in the rowboat. Nomi.
How did you die?
Because she went in the water like a fool. What do you think the rowboat was for? Wait. Nomi, did you do it for the science?
I
babe was trying to go get some ice cream.
You could have redeemed yourself and said, guys, I did it for the science, and I would have respected you. But since you did it for ice cream, I can't respect that.
I was gonna bring you some.
It's still not for the science.
Row, row, row your boat.
Gently down the stream.
Down the stream.
Man, this thing curved.